a bit of shouting.
It's familiar. Yeah. So it's.
I think the key bit is about the people yeah.
Yeah.
Really focus on the green question. What does it say about the mission of God when you've got a handle on the other stuff?
It's preaching the gospel. It's taking it out to the world, sending it out to everybody. That's what it's mission was. That's what John's mission was. Trying to trust this is a mission.
Yeah.
Say that we because he has about remember the concept is question.
Why is it a bit hard to
Teaching. Oh, sorry, it's asking for a question.
Fair enough.
Okay, maybe another 5 minutes. Get down what you can on what does it say about the mission of God, if you can.
Gentile. It's about all of it now for the first like 6 months. And then I sort of get yeah.
So it just says, I understand that it's a Peter of our over
Both Jews and later
Because Jesus
in the first place.
tried to do it.
It's also
By the way.
it relates to chapter 9. I know.
It's like saying,
Yeah, I know which one you're on about. I have no idea, but I know exactly what you're about because that's what went through my head. And then you're like,
it's not every one. Well, that's
John.
And the world.
Yeah. Yeah, and everyone who will be close. Luke, that's a different verse.
What did you find?
Yeah.
Because they're all confused.
They follow.
I think it's genuinely, it's spreading the word.
Yeah, but we know.
It's hard to press that. It's just like a bottle.
If you could have a talent, I would love to be able just to speak. Whatever language.
Another couple of minutes,
Yeah.
and then we're going to feedback. So
I think it would be very cool.
Yeah.
Interact with people because
Still.
However, especially for that movie.
So at the end, it talks about the sort and then we share things. Right down at the bottom, we've got 43.
43. Oh, the bit that was just after.
Yeah.
Enjoying baby.
Yeah, really. You don't need targets. The other ones are really like pressing out.
I did.
Yeah.
Like it's I feel like because he was jealous of the other parts.
I'm quite interested in some of them, like.
okay, just round up what you're on with at the minute. Right, I'm hoping if this plan works, then we can share all the work that you've all done. So you might want to take notes as the different groups feed back what they found, because it will save you having to do it yourself, if you see what I mean. So can we start? Let's start with Sal and Jane at the back there. So I'm changing it round. So you had Luke 10, did you? The sending of 72. So this is where Jesus sends out 72 disciples, and there's quite a lot in that one. And then you also have 2 Corinthians 5, didn't you? 14 to something. 14, I can't read my own writing. 21, that's it. So which would you like to start with? Just to feedback.
So the 2 Corinthians one,
It's 2 Corinthians 5 verses 14 to 21. And yeah, just if you can just outline what it says about the mission of God as far as you came to it.
So the passage is titled "The Ministry of Reconciliation,"
right?
And we concluded that that was what God's mission is, about trying to reconcile people to God and making of new creations, making us to live for Jesus, and making us his ambassadors who are going out sharing that message about that the potential to be reconciled to God. And we felt that the mission of God was summarized in verse 21, which says, God made him who had no sin to be sin for us, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God.
Wonderful, thank you.
That sort of summarised the whole.
Right. It's quite interesting. So it's about reconciliation with God. This is what we're supposed to be talking to people about, letting them know they can be reconciled with God. And interestingly, I've forgotten exactly the word you used, but it reminded me of transformative on that thing.
Of the new creation bit, isn't it?
Yeah, so God is creating it, making us new.
Yeah.
It's transforming, like we said earlier on.
Yeah.
And the other thing was this idea of that we're ambassadors, which is an interesting image, isn't it? So an ambassador, what does an ambassador do? I suppose they go to perhaps a different country and they represent something positive from their own country in that new place. So it's like we're in the kingdom of heaven. So that's a country almost of its own, not an earthly one, but and our job is to be ambassadors in the rest of the world to take this good news that people can be reconciled to God. Thank you. That's really well articulated. And it's quite tricky. That was a tricky one, I thought. So well done. Okay, Sal, go on then. So you're doing Luke 10,
Luke
1
10,
to 12.
Yeah. So, in a way, it is mission as, I think if you go to anyone and say, what is mission? They would probably say it very much as this passage is. It's going out telling people.
Right, going out telling
forth
people.
and tell.
Yeah.
But it does it in a way that's kind of go to the low-hanging fruit, go for the people who are welcoming you, go to the sick and feel them, go to the houses that welcome you and eat the food they give you. And but you have to be faithful in you going there, because you don't take your food, you don't take your money, you go there and they will give you.
Right, so you're quite vulnerable.
Very vulnerable, yeah.
You've got no spare food, you've got no spare cloak if it rains, you've got no nothing, you've got nowhere to stay.
Yeah.
But you just go to those that welcome you. You don't go to those that throw big bricks at you or that slam the door in your face.
Yep, you wipe the dust off your feet.
Okay.
It says that in this passage.
That's quite
if the city, you go to the city, they do not welcome you, you go, bye then, clean your feet and leave.
Okay. Interesting. So lots of things. And in pairs?
Yes. So you're going together. So you've got a bit of.
There's somebody else.
You've got somebody that is going to hopefully be nice to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of things there. Very practical things.
Very practical. Yeah.
About where you go, who you engage with the most, how you engage with them. You're quite vulnerable. You need them to give you hospitality, somewhere to stay, some food to eat. Okay. And that's how we're to go.
Yeah.
I don't think we do that very often. I'm just part a little bit.
No. It's what people think of as mission, but yes, I don't think we're very good at doing that.
I think as a church, in this country particularly, we quite like to be the ones who are offering for people to come to us.
Yeah.
And because it's safer, because we can stay in the building we know and offer nice things, good things, debt advice, food banks, whatever it is, community events. But it's not quite the same as going to where other people are, where we don't even know if we'll get a meal.
Yes.
Although don't forget that this was in the context of first century Palestine, where there's a strong idea of hospitality, and it would be considered ignorant to use the South Yorkshire word, been really wrong to not be hospitable if someone came to you in kindness, Anyway, thank you. That's brilliant. So lots from that one. Thank you. That's great. Right. Where shall I go to next? Can I go to Eunice and Saba? So you had Matthew 13, verses 1 to 9, which is the parable of the sower, and you had Acts 17, 16 to 34, which is Paul in Athens. Which one do you want to start with?
All right, let me start with Matthew.
Matthew, lovely. So the parable of the sower.
Yeah, it was about the teaching and mission of where he gathered and he started teaching the people who surrounded him by illustrating through parables of how a sower takes a seed and some fell on the way while going, and birds eat them up. Some fell on the rock their way going, and because of there was no sound, so sprung the seed up. It dies off when the sun comes out. Then some fall on tongues. When the tongue comes up, they killed the seed. While some fell on a good soil, and they were able to spring up and produce good food. He said some produce about 40 fruits, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, and some 30-fold. What is illustrating? Everybody gathered to listen to Jesus. Both the belief, the unbelief, the ones that are in the middle. Oh, should I believe or not? So the ones that are the good ones is people who listen and were able to digest the word and accept the word that was being spoken to them. But the one who move forward with the message Jesus gave. Why the ones that fell on the day? It's just saying, let me just hear and go. And some other one, just like as when he said, who have ears, let them hear. If you're able to understand the message, he didn't speak directly, but through the illustration and parable, he was able to pass the message to the multitude that gathered around him.
Yeah. So when I go and share my faith with people, what do I expect? Because quite often I think we expect everybody to suddenly become Christian.
Yeah.
Is that what this passage is saying?
No,
Which was the passage you were reading? Can you just tell me that?
Matthew 13,
Matthew.
1 to 9. Not everybody will accept it.
Yeah. So we never talk about that, do we?
Yeah.
We always talk in the church as though it's our fault that half the people we talk to don't accept it. But actually, Jesus taught most of the people you talk to won't accept it.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like they've got the thorns, the cares of this world that are distracting them. They'll be like the ground that's all trampled and hard, and so the soil can't go. They'll be unwatered, whatever. But there will be those that do accept. And it may only be one or two, but they will produce a lot of fruit. So it's quite encouraging about the mission of God, I reckon, that passage, yeah? We spend all our time telling ourselves off because we share our faith in the little ways we can and we don't see anything happening. But actually, the one that it does land with, who is in the right place with the good soil, who knows? Tomorrow they could be, I don't know, running a whole country. Who knows? Might be marvellous. Thank you, that's really helpful. Okay, the other one was Acts 17, 16 to 34, Paul in Athens. Saba, do you want to talk about that a bit?
Yeah, so when I was reading, it says, he was jealous to see other gods like stone made gods, and he was very brave to say that my God is good, my God is not word, like big kingdom. My God can speak, my God can
Yeah.
which is very brave to say somebody
Yeah.
face, you know?
Yeah, so he was in like a marketplace in
Yeah.
Athens that's full of different religions offering different things, wasn't it? And they had stone gods and things that they worship, all these different ideas.
Yeah.
And Paul went to the marketplace.
Yeah, and talk like
I would have stayed at home and watched telly. He went to the marketplace
Yeah.
where all these other religions
I would
were.
be shocked to talk like this.
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
marketplace, and
But he said, what did he say? This,
like if this God is not real, he don't speak, he don't
yeah.
he's not word, he doesn't like
But the God that I worship, what did he say about the God that I worship? Or, I don't know, I probably misquoted that. Because there was one to an unknown God, isn't there? Is there one Am I getting it? I might be getting one.
Yeah, verse 23.
Verse 23, what does that say? Just read it again.
For as I passed by, and I behold your devotion, I found an altar, which is inscription to the unknown God, whom therefore you are ignorantly worshipped. Him declare I unto you. That's verse 23.
Yeah, so he's sort of saying, you've got an altar to an unknown God. I know that God. I mean, he could be really arrogant. I mean, I might have been really annoyed with him, actually, if I'd have been there and just thought, who are you to know God? Anyway, so as you say, Saba, he went into this place that's a foreign place with lots of foreign gods, and he engaged with them and talked to people about his God, who is a known God. Yeah. So is that something we do in the church? I don't know.
Not these days.
Maybe not. Some people will do
Like,
it.
if you are bold enough, you can be like, I've had experience recently where I work, I took someone to the hospital. I didn't know he's not a believer, but I seek consent. I spoke to the sister. Oh, is it okay for me to pray with him? And the sister gave me a go ahead, I pray with him. Even though he passed on after that, but when I was called upon that, why should I pray? He's not a believer. I said, well, I'm sorry, but I seek consent. But even though he was not a believer, but at least he has listened to that one prayer. That even if he's going, God will be happy that at least he was able to listen to both his sister.
Yeah, yeah.
So it depends your boldness, the milestone, what is in your mind you're going with.
So maybe we need some boldness. There was boldness in that story anyway.
You know, sometimes when you want to do something, you'll be having one mind will tell you go, one mind will say no, don't go and embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
Don't go and you have to be courageous. Like as Paul was courageous to speak to the atoms.
And sometimes people have a particular calling. So I have a friend who had a particular calling to go into mind, body and spirit festivals. I don't know if you've come across those, where, you know, you have lots of different beliefs and all sorts of things mixing there and people sharing all kinds of ideas. And I've got several friends who've been to those kind of places and just been a presence in that place as a Christian thing, but speaking about our faith in a language that people could understand.
Like these days, like we do now, is like we show our faith that we don't follow it, their faith, but we do have our own, like we are, we can have our own faith and follow it.
And we could offer it.
Yeah.
The thing is, if nobody who is Christian is in the Mind, Body and Spirit Festival, then nobody in the Mind, Body and Spirit Festival might hear about the Christian thing. However, if somebody who is Christian has a particular vocation or a calling or a gift to be able to be in that kind of space, how wonderful that they are now another choice amongst all these other choices. And somebody might hear this gospel of reconciliation, and that might be good.
We don't go now these days to say others that yours is wrong or yours is.
Yeah.
We do have it.
Yeah.
And we let
them. Yeah. And I think it's difficult in our culture now.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to be seen to be pushing our belief on somebody. But sometimes we're so nervous about that we don't even say it.
But
you know,
our lives are the example, and
true. They are what they are as well.
They are the example, and they follow it.
Yeah.
People see the truth.
Yeah.
They start to follow it.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah. Thank you. Right, I'm going to move round to Toby and Toby and spiritual Sarah and riotous Rachel, who so far has been disturbingly quiet. I can only imagine this is a bad sign. So tell us what you were doing.
We have Matthew 28, verses 18 to 20. Shall I read it out? It's only brief.
Go for it.
Yeah. Then Jesus came to them and said, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me.
Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit.
Okie dokie. What did you say about that one first then?
Well, I think because it was just so short, it was just such a definite command. It
Yeah.
was just filled with authority and conviction and power and honesty. Just take it out there because I told you to do that and it's all right.
It's almost Yorkshire, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just get on with it.
Just do it.
Yeah. Okay.
And you've got my seal of approval to do that.
And it talks about baptizing and what? Baptizing and
Teach them my commandments.
teaching commandments.
You missed the last bit, actually, teaching them to obey everything that I have commanded you, and remember I am with you
That's not in this
to the end of
version.
the age.
Yeah. No, that's not in this.
Okay. So it's baptizing people as well. So it's definitely about
And it's about going out to all nations. It's like,
going out everywhere, all nations, teaching,
continuous
baptizing.
and don't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a continuous thing. And that lovely promise at the end, I'm with you.
I am with you always.
That's an
to the end
important
of
thing
the
to
age.
remember, to the end of the age.
But just before it, in verse 17, which we didn't read it, says, when they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted.
Yeah.
And then it just leaves it hanging.
Yeah.
And it overrides it really. It's like,
Yeah.
just as, you can doubt, but you can do this anyway.
Do it anyway.
Yeah.
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 I think most of us will have a story of how we doubted, but we did it anyway, and then we've learned something along the way. Yeah, thank you. Brilliant. Okay, the other one you did was 1 Thessalonians 2, 1 to 13. That's a bit tricky.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. It took too long for me to be able to read it, understand it, and then speak.
It's a lot to ask of you. Yeah, yeah. Did you manage to come up with anything too?
Yeah, I mean, what I noticed in it is that it pretty much captured about half of that list.
Okay.
In what he's saying in that. I don't know if I have it.
This is 1 Thessalonians 2, verses 1 to 13.
It was very much about, the writer was like describing their intentions. So that, we came to you being nurturing and wanted to teach you and to show you. They acknowledge that it isn't always going to be easy because they've come from a place before where they tried hard and it hasn't worked out basically, and they're about persevering.
So there was opposition
But
where they come
yeah,
from.
they were very thankful and for those people that they've welcomed and heard. And again, that about moving around and across people and spreading it that way. And but I felt it very much like a life action to give purpose, and they were like passing it on to those other people.
Yeah, sense of purpose and passing it on. There was even the parental image, wasn't there?
The parental thing came in, yeah, he talks about coming to you as the nursing mother cares for her children, so we care for you. And
Yeah.
they also said we were like young children among you. And it talks at the beginning about we're not coming to preach and tell you what to do and warn you about. We're not looking for praise from you. We're not using our authority over you. We're just coming among you as children.
Yeah.
And to share your life. And then it says it's not just about preaching the word, it's about sharing ourselves.
Yeah, giving even ourselves.
Giving even ourselves.
Yeah. So that's going back to that. Earlier on I talked about why you get engaged in mission of different sorts is important as well.
Yeah.
I think it touches on that because he says we're not looking for money.
Yeah.
We're not coming to you because we want your money. We're not coming to you because we want you to think we're marvellous. I mean, a lot of us in the church are basically coming because we want everyone to think we're marvellous. Well, maybe that says more about me than anything else. You can go figure that one. Anyway, that's a pitfall. But he's saying that's not why we come. We're coming to you because we love you so much. We wanted you to know this good news, that you can be reconciled with God. It's like, this is a really terrible analogy, but if you find a really exceptionally good shampoo and you've got a very good friend, you want them to know about it because it's exceptionally good and you like them and you care about them. And they were just telling you the other day they couldn't find a decent shampoo. I don't know, I'm being ridiculous. But if you find something that is life-changingly good, you share it with the people you really love because it's life-changingly good. You don't want them to miss out. It's not for your own gain. No, it's because you can't bear to think that this person you really love is in the world and doesn't know about this life-changingly good thing, which is probably more important than shampoo.
That's where the tension comes with what you were saying earlier about not being rice Christians, you know, and saying, I'll feed you because I love you. Or Christians, you know, there's different things going on. You loving them and you don't want to be hungry, but you're also loving them and you want to know this lovely thing.
Yes, and there is the thing I was saying.
There's a bit of manipulation in that, right? Because I was just thinking of a time when I read this parenting book, not really great parenting book, and then I have a friend and I thought they could really benefit from reading this parenting book.
Yeah.
Now, that's very judgmental.
That's different, isn't it?
But I really wanted to share it with them, but it didn't feel like the right thing to do because it felt controlling.
Okay.
You know, like I was then trying to inflict on them my way of seeing the world or something.
Yes.
So I can see there's caution in mission.
Yes.
Yeah,
So it's
kind of
really
like-
good to be self-aware.
Yeah.
And actually, although Paul says all of these things in 1 Corinthians 5, he is giving his own lowdown of, sorry, it's not one, no, which one were you doing? You were doing Thessalonians 2, 1 Thessalonians 2. He's giving himself a very good sort of picture. He's painting a good picture of himself, but does he know himself well enough to know why he's doing things? Who knows? We have to
That's why that's good, that bit, wherever it is that says, be ready to explain your
Yeah,
be ready.
Yeah,
like,
that's
not
in
don't
Peter,
just be
yeah.
last in there.
yeah,
Be
But
ready.
it's also
to give a reason.
because he's not saying I, he's saying we.
We, yes, we were
There's
gentlemen.
him and at least one other person.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
And so that kind of warns it in some way.
yeah.
Less arrogant.
It would be hard to say that with the person standing there if they knew that you hadn't been, you know.
Right,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah, that's helpful. Thank you. Okay, it's a bit more subtle, that one, a bit more tricky. So I realise it's difficult to dig under the surface of it. Great. Okay, Steve and Jason, you've got the Samaritan woman at the well. And
Didn't get to that one.
you didn't get to that one
No, we
Okay.
exhausted the other one thoroughly.
thoroughly.
Yeah.
Right. The other one was
I don't expect too much. John
John
3, 16 to 17.
which is the one we did the Lectio
Yeah.
Divina on.
Yeah.
You see, I thought that would be a quick, easy pretend.
For some reason, me and Jason just kept talking.
You just get talking about it. Tell us what the benefit of your wisdom about mission of God from that.
You start, Jason, I'll chip in.
So it was for God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. God did not send his Son into the world to condemn, but to save the world through him. So we kind of got a little bit lost in the prelude to this, which is a story of Nicodemus getting rebuked by Jesus for his failure to kind of understand, and he's thinking about things in real earthly terms, like he says. Surely they cannot enter a second time into their mother's wombs before. So we thought one of the sort of key things that we drew out was that we're called to have faith in things that maybe can't be explained in earthly terms.
Right. Yeah.
It was very much about faith and being born again, and Nicodemus not understanding how that works in a heavenly way rather than an earthly way.
Yeah.
It questions it again, doesn't it? In 9, how can this be? He's asking for more, even though Jesus has explained it.
Yeah.
He explains it with likening the spirit to wind. The wind blows wherever it pleases. You hear its sound, you cannot tell where it comes from or where it's going. So it is with everyone born of the Spirit. And Nicodemus still thinking in earthly terms. He still doesn't understand how can it be.
So isn't it encouraging that even when the Son of God himself is trying to explain these things to somebody who actually was a religious leader, so he knew a lot, right? He's not just like
calls him the teacher of Israel.
He's not just a numpty off the street. Do you know what I mean? But even he is struggling to grasp it. So we're likely to come up against, a bit like we said with the seeds falling on different ground, we are likely to come up against people who are but notice that Nicodemus remains curious. Now, that is a really important thing. When we come to look at evangelism later on in the course, it's really important to assess how curious someone is. If they're not curious, probably walk away.
That's what it comes in the one I did, is that I put it as low-hanging fruit, but it's those people who aren't.
They're already on some kind of journey.
Yeah.
They're asking questions. They're actually interested.
Yeah.
Where we've gone wrong in the past is we've sort of talked at people. Go on.
There's a reason why Toby brought that word confrontational, because that passage comes across as very confrontational between Jesus and Nicodemus. But equally, like you just said, it's curious as well. He doesn't dismiss it.
No.
But he is confrontational because he does just keep asking Jesus questions.
Yeah.
And Jesus says, how can you not believe? You're the teacher of Israel.
Yeah.
So.
And don't forget with Nicodemus, this comes back to what you said, I think, earlier, Jacob, there we go, about how it's sort of tailored to the individual. And Nicodemus was a person of authority. And Jesus was most confrontational with people of authority, especially in the religious authority thing. He was less confrontational with the Samaritan woman, had you only just got to her. Because she is not a person with a lot of power. She's a person who all her power has been taken away from her. One, because she's a woman. Two, because she's Samaritan, so hated by the Jews. He shouldn't have been talking to her. Three, because of all her situation with having been married loads of times. And goodness only knows what kind of thing she's been through. So she is a person with very little power, and he was very gentle with her. And it's a long passage because he spends a lot of time with her. Nicodemus is another kettle of fish because he should know better, kind of thing. So Jesus is quite confronted with him, but still follows a curiosity. He doesn't just shut him down, does he? He enables things.
Does that not show those what you just said about that other paragraph and everything? Does that not show that Jesus was really good at reading the room, in effect, and reading the people he was talking to?
Yes.
So he didn't go confrontational with the lady at the well, but he did with Nicodemus. And is that not something as disciples, as us, we need to be aware of how we read that room and who we're talking to, whether it's worth talking about Jesus, because they might just say they're not interested and walk off.
Yeah. And this is
really
all
clever, that.
it is clever.
Isn't it?
The tailored thing, exactly. Yeah. So all of this, we're going to look into this in more as we go along through the course, and it's really important to read the room. And we have limited ability with that, even if you're really empathic. So we'll have a range in this room. Some people in this room are incredibly empathic. I can almost tell it by the way their body language is. Other people will be less so. That's okay. That's normal. All of us can be supernaturally empathic when we have the gift of the Holy Spirit, who knows the inside of everybody's brain and heart better than any of us can ever know. Knows my brain and heart better than I know myself. So it's about trusting as well. But Jason, you were still mid-flow and I've just interrupted you. Go on. What else do you want to say?
I don't know if I was, but I think it's interesting how just before that, in 14, there's he references Moses in the desert turning the staff into a snake, just as Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness. So the Son of Man must be lifted up. It's like it kind of made me think, like Moses probably didn't believe at that point that the staff was going to turn into a snake, but he kind of,
Trusted.
He took a leap of faith with it, really.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't know, like what you're saying about doubting. I think sometimes you don't quite know what's going to happen or what it is that you're with. And that's a useful lesson for the mission of God. We don't always know what we're on with. You've found a lot in the context there, which I was not expecting. But well done, both of you.
That's why I really did one, you see.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. The Samaritan woman at the well, if you want to look at that another time, it's John chapter 4. It's most of the chapter. It's really worth looking into. We'll come back to it on the Zoom, so I'll catch you up on that one. Last but certainly not least,
Can I just add to the Samaritan woman?
Yeah.
People in the room might be really familiar with Sheffield carols, and I'm not. I went for the first time, and there's one called Jacob's Well, which is in the context of Samaritan woman, worth having a look at.
Oh, brilliant.
Bring it into the mainstream.
Maybe we could play it.
Singing.
I wonder if there's a recording of it on YouTube.
Just thought it was a great carol. We need to sing it.
Yeah, brilliant.
What was the name
Well,
of it?
you'd be the first.
Well,
Jacob's Well.
it's about the Samaritan woman.
Brilliant. Excellent. Okay. So last but certainly not least, you guys were doing Luke chapter 4, verses 16 to 30, and Acts, weren't you? So
Shall I say it before I fall asleep and you chip in? I'm really struggling there.
that's right.
So Luke 4, Nazareth Manifesto. He's just been through the temptation and he's preaching in synagogues, and he comes to his home synagogue and he reads from Isaiah, and he says, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, and then he goes through a list of things which might express the mission of God, like bringing good news to the poor, releasing captives, healing, bringing freedom, and then at the end he says, today in front of you the scripture's been fulfilled, and everybody goes, it's just the carpenter's son, and they chase him to the cliff and they want to tip him over, but he just walks through the middle of them. So, mission, even in the face of opposition.
Yeah, so definitely opposition there.
And don't be afraid to talk to your family. Hard, isn't it? Because they might hit you or hate you.
Yeah, it's tricky. Don't expect that they'll just all
go there if you want
fall
to.
in. Yeah.
Don't do it near a cliff.
Yeah. So very heartening practical advice there. Thanks, Yo. Brilliant. Anything to add to that? Jacob? No? Megan? No? Nothing to add to that? Okay, great. That is a really core passage for mission. Luke 4, chapter 4, verses 16 to 30, isn't it? It's called the Nazareth Manifesto, and it's because it's like Jesus setting out his stall, really, what I'm here to do. So it's really important. Okay, the other one you had was Acts chapter 2. It's all about Pentecost, isn't it? It's quite a long one again. What can you say about that? Megan, Jason? Not Jason, Jacob. Sorry, I keep calling you. What did you make of it? What can we learn about the mission of God from the Pentecost thing?
It's for everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're Jew or Gentile. It's
right.
For everybody who wants to listen. It's for all nations, wherever they are. Great.
It's for all nations, wherever they are. Absolutely anyone. There's lots of languages, aren't there? If you remember the story of Pentecost, Acts 2. So it's in, and it will come to you in your own language. Can I say that?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Right? Yeah. That is also key, because what we were just talking about there, about reading the room and reading the person, if the person is speaking French, you're going to have to learn French and speak it to them. There is no point in shouting louder in English with a French accent like my dad used to do. Yes. Everybody hears in their own tongue. Yeah. So there's an important principle for mission there when you're sharing faith, particularly, that you take the trouble to learn the language of the people you're talking with. You don't just blunderbuss them with your own language. And that sometimes means we have to drop the Christian language in our context in England today, because loads of people don't have that language. You can make a reference to the parable of the sower if you were going to in a conversation. Somebody might not even have a clue what that is because they've never heard any of it. So you have to translate. We're doing the work of translators all the time in the context that we're in, and it will be different according to the person we're talking to. We've got to read that person as part of the work of mission. Thank you. That's great. Anything else from that?
Sorry.
Go on.
Can I just add, I heard somebody talking about that, saying that actually most of the people in Jerusalem at Pentecost probably would have understood Aramaic because it was a kind of
the main language of that place. Yeah.
So they would have. It's not that they couldn't understand it at all. It's not like they were speaking Chinese or something, but they were hearing in their native language and their heart language, and that really resonated with me. That actually it wasn't they couldn't understand at all. It was just not. It was harder work for them to understand Aramaic rather than Greek or I don't know what the other languages were.
Yeah. Thank you. That's really helpful. Yeah.
It's in St Mary's, my church on Bramall Lane, where there's lost count the number of nations. If anybody takes the trouble to learn a song in somebody's own language, it's very moving. People just cry and are very moved to have that touch of home.
Yeah.
And I had a nice chat with a Muslim woman at the station. Which Nigerian language do you speak? And Igbo, and I can't remember it now, but we learnt this song at my church in Igbo, and I started singing it with her. She's a Muslim, and she started singing it back with me, and I'm like, how can you know that? And she's like, oh, yeah. She just loved it. And even though it wasn't from her faith, I was singing something in her language.
Yeah.
So it is really powerful.
That is wonderful.
A few words.
Yeah.
A few words.
Yeah.
You said something before about not psychic intuition, but something about empathy, supernatural empathy. And the language thing, it's like they were resourced by the Spirit. It was like a magical thing.
Yes. Yeah.
God is quite magical sometimes.
Yes.
In a way that we shouldn't be afraid of.
Yeah. So trusting that God can
Yeah.
pop ideas into your head at the right moment. Perhaps a little analogy or a picture language that this particular person will happen to understand, and you couldn't know why or
Just
how.
trust it. It's quite funny,
Yeah.
but God knows what
Yeah.
they're doing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you. Anything else, Jacob or Megan?
No, I think it's all been covered.
All been covered? Yeah. Nothing else? Okay. That's great. Thank you so much, everyone, for your hard work. I thought that was very good. So when we start on the Zoom, I'll just run through quickly the Samaritan woman so you've got that, a few notes on that one, but that hopefully that gives you a fairly strong picture. So there's a lot of guidance for us about how we engage in the mission of God in the New Testament. We've only just scratched the surface today, but there's a lot for us to glean from that. Thank you so much for being here and taking part in the way you have. I think that's all we need to say. So when you come on the Zoom, I will start the Zoom at 7:15 on the date, whenever it is, soon. I won't start it straight away. I'll probably actually start at 25 past, but I will start the actual Zoom at 7:15 to give you time to arrive on Zoom, sort out any technical whatevers, go and get yourself a drink, and then we'll start. And we will definitely be finished by 9:15, if not slightly earlier.
This week we follow through.
It is on the 14th, whenever that is, it's a couple of
A
weeks,
week
isn't it?
on Wednesday.
Yeah,
That was that book.
there we are. Oh, that's the other one by her.
It's
Yes.
about speaking people's language, like
Yes.
translating.
So Sarah Miles, I don't know if that book's on the list, but another book called Take This Bread is on the list. They're both brilliant books, very engaging, easy to read.
Yeah, really easy to read.
Quite exciting to think of. Yeah. I think. Oh yes, please. Can I have the Bible things back? That would be great. Thank you. That's great. Thank you very much for your time and attention today. And see you.
Do you think this?
They're on the alley.
It should be, yeah. Oh, thank you.
Ali, they're on there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you were in Pittsmore.
I am in Kitsmore. Yes.
So I was born and bred in Pittsmore. I was
Oh.
born on Ayrsham Street,
Oh.
and that's where I did that up until 1819. That's where I lived.
Oh, there you go.
My formative years all around Pittsmore.
Very good. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, where about you?
To Byron Whistle.
I used to, when it was called Burn Greek School, that's where I went. Earldom Road.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not.
Bolton Street to get home.
Yeah.
Depends which way. My formative years.
So separate, trying to.
Where are you now? Where?
I mean, I go to St Mary's. Fabulous story this morning.
Okay, yeah, I don't know the answer to that, but maybe email me. Yes, thank you.
Lady, great granddad got married.
Can't have been that desperate.
From Idaho. And then
Wow.
they've got three churches which they look their history. One was in Pittsmore. They couldn't remember the name of the church. They were going there. They knew they got married at St Mary's, so they came there this morning and they were going to church in Northwest.
Oh, wow.
So they were visiting the church that they had a link with.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Which I just thought, how that's possible.
Amazing journey to make. Yeah. Incredible.
St Mary's apparently is the oldest